Hello viewers, we've come your way again with another interesting topic. We've been discussing courtship. From courtship, what else? Why do we court at all? And why have we embarked upon this journey? As Beloved's Corner once again, we are going to look at what we do after courtship. When our courtship has come to an end, it means we are entering into marriage, another phase of our lives. So we therefore have to know what marriage is all about. Everybody wants to get married. Some even move to the apartment of a gentleman and claim they are married. I'm living with my husband. Who knows your husband? Do your parents know of him? Do any relative know that this nephew, niece, son, daughter lives with this person, and therefore when we're looking for you, we can find you with this person? If that is the case, then let the person perform the customary rite, and then a pastor or a church leader can bless the marriage, and then you can enjoy your loved one forever. So what is marriage? Marriage is an institution that was ordained by God himself. It's the first institution that came to being before sin entered the world. God created Adam and said it wasn't good for him to be alone. So he gave him a helpmeet for him. And when Adam saw Eve, Adam was excited. He was extremely happy. And this is how it should be. No wonder God said that marriage, finding a wife, it's a good thing. And he who finds one obtains favor from him. So God is happy when we find the bone of our bones and the flesh of our flesh. Dearly beloved, 3 ways of getting married. We have 3 kinds of marriages. We have the civil marriage, customary marriage, and then we have the spiritual marriage. Now, the civil marriage, it's because of the laws of our lands. We can go to court to declare ourselves as married couples after signing the necessary documents. And then we have the customary marriage, which involves the 2 families. It's very, very important. For this, without this, you can't even do a spiritual one. And therefore, after the customary marriage, you can go ahead and bring your spouse to the house of God and let the church also be witnesses. It's very important to have witnesses in your relationship, in your marriage. And then you will know that this day, at this time, at this venue, I took my beloved to the altar. Why do we marry? What is marriage and why do we marry? We marry to solve problems. The problem of loneliness, the need for a helpmeet, to avoid fornication, to have children. These are some of the reasons, not all, some of the reasons to avoid loneliness, for reproduction, for the need for a helpmeet, and to avoid fornication. So we now know why we marry. And therefore, if you marry for all these reasons, but yet you don't have a child, it shouldn't break the marriage. You should find ways of raising other people's children. Maybe by so doing, you have your own. It is not a curse not to have a child. But we believe, God, that every marriage should be blessed with children. That is our belief. That is our belief. We have the God type of marriage. This kind of marriage is 1 man, 1 woman. So if you want to have the God kind of marriage, then you have to know that, and the rib which the Lord God had taken from man, made he a woman and brought her unto the man. So now we know that 1 man, 1 wife, 1 rib, 1 woman. So please, let us bear this in mind, that if we want the God type of marriage, it's 1 man, 1 woman. And then what is expected of the man is for the man to leave. You leave your parents and you do what? You cleave to your wife without leaving friends, parents, siblings and all that. You cannot cleave, because if you go back to them at every given opportunity, then you are not fulfilling the marriage vows. So you have to leave and you have to cleave. How do we cleave? How do we live? We live by physically relocating, economically or financially not being a burden onto your parents. Then you have to take your own decisions with your spouse. And then you leave especially your close friends. and then that of the opposite sex. It's very, very important. And then cleaving by having companionship, being open to your spouse. And they were both naked, the man and his wife, but they were not ashamed. You find this in Genesis chapter 2, verse 21 to 25. So it tells us that for a man to marry successfully, he has to first leave and then cleave to the wife. You have to be open to your wife. You have to be able to discuss issues with your wife. You have to be able to tell your wife all that bothers you. And if there's any solution, the two of you can put your heads together and then you can solve your issues. It's not the best to invite people to come and then sit in your marriage and solve issues for you. The two of you, through so many ways, can resolve your problems. The problems that you used to have during courtship, you can resolve them when even you don't invite anyone. But if there's the need, talk to the right person, talk to the matured friend, talk to the mentor that you have, and then you can move on. Why do we marry? For sex and reproduction. God said we should be fruitful, we should multiply. And through sex, every creature, whether by binary fish, whatever, it's reproduction. But for human beings, we don't have the ability to split. We just reproduce by having sex with the opposite sex. And for Christians, it's the married couple that we are talking about. And God blessed them, and God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth and subdue it and have dominion over the fish of the sea and over the fowl of the air and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. What a sweet command. And this was found in Genesis 1:26 to 28. So now we know why we marry. We have to know these things so that we can have a Christian home. The God kind of marriage is the one that should last. But these days, what do we see? Divorce rates are so high. It's because the young people think they can marry with their own wisdom. The wisdom they acquire from friends, the wisdom they acquire from school. It is not the kind of wisdom that a Christian needs to put up a home, to build a home, to build a family, to train children. You can learn biology and become a medical doctor. You can learn physics and become an engineer. But for you to learn how to marry, you need to go into the Word of God. What is God's idea when He said, live and cleave? What is God's idea when He said that multiply, be fruitful? We have to know these things. And then when we know the reasons for Him creating marriage, then we are on the right path. Then we are heading towards the happiness that He promises. The good thing that He promises us, that is a good thing to find a wife, and it's a good thing to be married. And then He's going to grant you favor. Now, we call a Christian the God's type of marriage. Then you should build a Christian home. What is a Christian home, therefore? The home is the atmosphere. When we talk about a house is not a home, but there should be a home in a house. Therefore, there's a contribution from both the man and the woman to have a Christian kind of home. It is an atmosphere, a place you are always eager to go to. If the world is making you feel uncomfortable, let's say you are in a foreign land, and then you tell your friends, I am going home. Home is home. Home is where you can find peace. Home is where you can be yourself. Home is where you can express yourself. Home is where you can be forgiven. Therefore, there's the need to have a Christian home, a place to enjoy beautiful, peaceful welcoming. Therefore, if you are married and you can't go to your home and have all these things, that means that you are not in the Christian home. For a Christian home, there should be beauty, there should be peace, and there should be welcoming. A place to tend and make beautiful. You make beautiful by beautifying the people in your home. That includes all the people that work for you, your children, your help, everyone that sets foot into that house should have and experience this kind of Christian home. We would find also a story about a foolish son. We can see that in Proverbs chapter 25, verse 24. A foolish son is the calamity of his father, and the contentions of a wife are a continual dropping. Now, This is found in Proverbs 19:13. But Proverbs 25:24 says, it is better to dwell in the corner of the housetop than with a brawling woman and in a wide house. What does this mean? The first one talks about a foolish son and talks about the continual nagging of a woman. And then Proverbs 25:24 also talks about you even being better off, like becoming like a spider, hiding in the corner, than living in a house with a woman who is always nagging, raising her voice, trying to fight for every little thing. It would be better for us women to be wise and to build a sweet home, a home that every child will want to come back to, bring their children for the grandparents to also enjoy. So let us be wise in this manner, especially the women. Don't let us drive the people in our houses away because we don't have a home. Let the home be peaceful. The God kind of marriage builds or yields the Christian home. It is very, very important to be part of a nice home than to be in a place where you would want to be in a corner because of the troubles that come with such homes. So now we know that we have the God kind of marriage and we have the Christian home. The importance of the home to the husband and the wife. To the husband, what is he expecting? A place of relaxation, a shield and an insulation from the world, and it's precious for the woman. So the woman wants a place that she can go and hide for protection. And the man also wants to come to a home that he can relax. A place of refreshing and strengthening for both of them. And a place of training for the children. So now the homes that we live for house helps and other people to raise the children, we are heading towards danger. Let us be careful of this. Let us be mindful of this and know that the home that we are expected to build is a home that will train the children God brings our way. The children we have adopted, they are friends that come to us. It's a ground for us to spread our Christian faith. So women and men out there, if we want the kind of marriage that would last forever, then it's the God type of marriage. And the home that we would all want to experience is the Christian home. Come your way next time with interesting topics. Now we know what's the kind of the marriage that we all would wish for. The God kind of marriage, which is one man, one woman. The Christian home, which is peaceful. The Christian home, which is relaxing for the man. The Christian home, which is a protection for the woman. And the training grounds for the fruits of the womb or for the people we adopt. Come your way next time with interesting episodes. Thank you for watching.